The man took out a small knife and carefully cut the edges of a plastic bucket. He scooped some seawater into it, covered it with plastic wrap, placed a cup inside, and weighted down with a metal piece. After leaving it under the scorching sun for 3 hours, he managed to collect a cup of fresh water. Taking a cautious sip, he let out a satisfied sigh. It was his first sip of fresh water after 5 days adrift at sea. He gazed at the endless ocean, unsure how much longer he could survive. Suddenly, he spotted a dark shape in the distance. At first, he thought it was a hallucination, but as it drew closer, he realized it was a cargo ship. Overwhelmed with hope, he launched a signal flare, but the ship didn't notice and sailed away. Watching the ship vanish, despair gripped him. Night fell, and the sound of a distant horn woke him from his restless sleep. Another cargo ship was approaching. Once again, he used his remaining flares to signal for help, but the ship disappeared into the darkness, oblivious to his cries. Devastated, he collapsed onto his raft. In his despair, he wrote a farewell note in his journal, sealed it in a bottle, and cast it into the sea, hoping someone might one day discover his story. Time passed, and he noticed a faint light in the distance. Without any flares left, he had to improvise. He set fire to the papers in his bucket, using the flames as a distress signal. The fire quickly spread, engulfing the entire raft. Forced to abandon it, he jumped into the water. Watching his last lifeline burn to ashes, he gave up, letting himself sink into the depths of the ocean. As he began to lose consciousness, a bright beam of light broke through the darkness. Realizing someone had found him, he summoned all his strength and swam upwards. Just as he neared the surface, a hand reached out to grab him. He knew at last he was saved.